October is one day away. Is this your final chance to get altcoins cheap? What are we eyeing? What are some things to keep an eye on as far as price action? And how can you make money with Sui, Aptos, or Celestia? We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about what happened in September and what are some things to look out for on BTC. Bitcoin is currently down, but clear skies are ahead. We'll talk about that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go. Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel, where we take old, boring, and stale information, repackage that thing up in a fun and sexy way. I went through the gauntlet this morning. I watched every single crypto show known to man this morning. Why one? I have no idea. But anyways, let me tell you what I found out.
Hold on, before you start.
Give me my moment.
No, wait. I got to address this. So, Friday you had a very, very aggressive Ola. Why did you,
Can I have my moment? That's it? So I went through the gauntlet this morning, and I watched channel after channel after channel after channel. They're all snooze fests, bro.
Wow.
They're all whack. I'm sorry. I'm shooting at everyone, man. Shots fired. You know what, man? I just don't get it. I'm like, what more do you need? We bring the entertainment. We bring the stylish shirts. And we bring the alpha. And also, here's the thing. Satoshi has called in a final pullback. Satoshi picked up the phone and said, hey, look, I know this October thing. It's going to change some lives. It's going to change some portfolios. And we have one final discount before tomorrow comes in.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking
Are you
about?
okay?
No, I'm not okay. But listen here.
Something is really wrong with you.
No, I'm telling you. Do you think it's coincidence that
You
with
just
the
talk
great
the talk.
the greatest month
Hey, Joe.
known to crypto man here, the greatest month, October, and we're having a flash sale right
The shows are
beforehand.
boring, and then Satoshi called me, and he said, we're going to make the price go up.
Well, the shows are boring though. Have you watched? Here's the thing. I want to have unbiased opinion. I don't want to echo what other people say. So I've made a point to not watch any other channels because I don't want to sit here and regurgitate anything else. Because you might not think you do it, but then all of a sudden you're watching some other channel, somebody makes a good point, and then you're like, next thing you know, you're talking about the same thing on the show. And I don't want that. You want Big Rob? I don't want that. I don't want that. You want Big Rob's opinion. So what ends up happening here
What's wrong with
is that I haven't watched it. I haven't watched any other YouTube channel in months, like 6 months. And I went through today and I was just like, our competition is trash, bro.
What does this have to do with Bitcoin going to 70,000?
I'm just telling you, we got the greatest show ever, bro.
Okay.
Greatest show on whatever internet you connect to. Starlink.
There we go.
Broadband that the U.S. has funded that hasn't really played out.
Anything else on your mind?
I'm all over the place. But you know what?
We know.
We're
trying to reel you in here. But
I had a lot of coffee this morning,
We can tell.
and you're getting a lot of alpha.
Mm.
And I'm just excited, man. And why shouldn't you be excited? Greatest month in the history of crypto is coming up. The Fed is also talking about cutting another 50 basis points. So there wasn't a one-off event. That was not a one-off event. Another 0.5% is expected now, or at least that's the rumor. The rumor has it. And you throw that with October. Obviously, the next rate cut comes in November, but still, very bullish, man. I'm telling you, very, very bullish. Excited. I'm excited, man.
Is that good enough?
I am loading up money, and if you are at all hesitant and you're questioning this market, I mean, y'all need to wake up, man. It's the last time. That's why today's thumbnail is brought to you by I'm buying ? We're going to talk about it because I got a couple things on my radar.
Okay. Good.
Hi, everyone. I'm David. I'll be part of your co-host team today. Welcome So, all right, let's talk about this. So, historically, September, no good. This year, September, very good. If September closes, which we're kind of trending downwards, but we're on track to have the best September since really ever, I can argue, according to this chart. It's from CoinGlass. But so this has brought a lot of people to say, okay, well, if September bucked the trend, will October also buck the trend? Meaning that instead of Uptober, it would be Downtober. I personally don't think so. We'll get Robin's thoughts on that here in a second. Oh, he said no, he doesn't think so either. We take a look.
Don't you ever utter Downtober up in here. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, bro.
I can't with you today.
Why?
What is wrong with you?
You see my shirt? You like it?
I know what's wrong with you.
What's that?
You been juicing?
No, I've not been juicing. You know, someone asked me that the other day.
They did?
Yeah.
You know, I started watching that Netflix documentary about the WWE.
I have never used any performance-enhancing drugs, and I will gladly submit to a test if you do not believe me.
No one cares about. Okay.
You know, I started doing lower weights.
Okay. No.
Lower.
We're not going. We're not
I went
doing
lower
this.
weights.
No. We're not.
For the longest time, I was
Rocco,
doing
cut his
heavy
mic.
weights, and
mic.
so now I go lower, higher.
No one
reps.
cares. They're here to learn about
Way
crypto.
better. Way better. I'm just
Okay.
DCA on the weight.
Yeah,
DCA on the
DCA.
weights.
Yeah,
Sure,
lower
this is
weights
okay,
over
wait.
time is better than higher.
All right. Just
bias.
focus for a second. You're like my 9-year-old. Jesus
Okay, go
Christ.
ahead.
Okay. Pay attention. Okay.
Yes.
September typically bad. Very good. October typically good. Will it be very bad? Yes or no?
September. You said October, right? What'd you
I'm
throw
saying
September in?
September bucked the trend.
Yeah.
Will October buck the trend?
Did it really buck the trend?
It did.
What's the percentage for September?
It's going to be the best September since we've been.
But what
tracking
is the
this
percent?
data.
What is the
What
percent?
does it matter? It's the best September we've had. Tracking going back to 2013. That's not bucking the
What's
trend?
the number? What's the number?
7.67%.
7%, man. Calm down. Okay, it's not that big of a deal.
That's not the point.
anyways,
the point is not the
point.
number.
The point is
The point is what happened. And you see what happened was September is about to end green, which it typically ends red.
moderately green, less than 10%.
It's still green.
But here's the thing. October. It's going to melt some faces, bro.
So then your answer is no. You don't think October will buck the trend and go negative?
No, I already told you, man. I'm like, get that Downtober crap out of here. Like, pull up your screen there. Look at this, man. Look at October. There's been 2 examples of red, and they did not fall on bull markets.
And look at September. There's been 3 examples of green.
Yeah, but
By the way,
it's not. If it would have been, if we would have had a 30% run up in September, if we would have had a 25% run up in September, yes, perhaps the conversation would be a little different. Maybe we
okay.
ran a little.
How about
early.
this? How about this?
But
How about this?
7%, not that big of a factor, bro.
By the way, to be fair, I believe October will be bullish. I'm still believing that. I'm just trying to play because I'm trying. It's for the sake of conversation, okay? I'm sure there's people.
Well, you know where I land on this.
Cool, man. You land there. I'm sure people watching are like, okay, well, this is probably a question. So we're trying to have a conversation here. Look at this chart in 2016. Typically, the average return from October has been around 22.9%. In September, when we had a 6% gain in Bitcoin, October saw a pretty quelled return, which was only 14.7%. The lowest we had seen up to that time. Now, do you think we're going to be around that average of 22% in October, or do you think it's going to be a little less?
I think we're going to get 30, 40%.
Okay. A new all-time high, huh?
Yeah, I think 85,000. What's that, like 35%? Somewhere in there?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I want to now some of the reasons,
But also, if you look in the chat, Baby G says 58K forever.
Okay. I don't believe that. That's cool, man. Baby G, what's up, my G? Anyways, I am a believer in October will be bullish. I don't care what September did. I think this year has been so weird. Would it surprise me if October was down? It would. Would I be shocked and floored? No. But at the end of the day, our base case for October is up, hence October. There's some reasons why. This is one of the reasons why, Rocco, if you want to pull out my laptop, this is from none other than the Pump, Anthony Pompliano. Global liquidity is expanding again. Stocks, real estate, commodities, and Bitcoin are ready for the ultimate tailwind. And it's no damn surprise that the global liquidity cycle also lines up with Bitcoin's price appreciation. So we have just broken out of global money supply shrinking, global liquidity shrinking, to now we are expanding. What does that mean? More money to buy Bitcoin, more money to buy altcoins and meme coins and other coins and all the other risk on assets, which includes all of crypto. We know China, their stock market has absolutely rallied. They're talking about pandemic level rallies after everything opened back up. When all the governments started pumping money into the economies, that's literally what China just did. On top of the amount of money, I think it's $7 trillion that the Chinese citizens just are refusing to spend. And so they're going through what's called deflation, which is not good from a Fed and a government standpoint. But they have all that money on the sidelines. Interest rates are coming down, which means that products like money market funds and treasuries will no longer be
also left
play.
out elections. And so the election coming up, let me ask you, do you think that the executive office and the executive branch will try to get a last second bump or rally in the global markets, or particularly the US markets? Do you think that they influence the markets at all going into election day? Perhaps the markets are looking really good, right? And S&P 500 is breaking new all-time highs, and investor sentiment is up. Now, what tools do they use? Obviously, you do have the Fed rate cut. It's not part of the executive office, but could be influenced. You think that executive office?
Wouldn't surprise me. Makes sense.
Okay, we'll put it this way. Do you think that in the next 2 months, or in the next, say, month and a half, that we get a rally out of the U.S. markets? I mean, we're seeing it in the global markets, right? Or at least there's indicators that it's coming.
I think it's very tricky because I think there's a lot of geopolitical stuff going on. That's not good. So
no, well,
I mean,
with uncertainty and fear usually comes reaction, and
typically
the U.S. becoming proactive when it comes to spending money. Spending money finds its way to investments. And we saw when the markets got spooked with COVID, when it got just any example where the media overemphasizes some kind of traumatic global event. And what happens? U.S. usually prints a lot of money for whatever reason. That finds its way to investments. S&P 500 breaks all-time highs. And so, I don't know. I think that even if there is geopolitical issues globally, we find ourselves back at the same spot. And that is probably going to have a last-minute rally by the broader markets. You think there's a correlation? Now, let me ask you a question. If the S&P 500 is up 10% from today to election day, do you think Bitcoin is up 30, 40%?
I don't know.
I think there's a straight correlation. I think it is 100% correlated still. Maybe not 1 for 1, but I think that the correlation is there.
Means 1 for 1.
No, what I'm saying is that there is a correlation. Like there's no denying the correlation, right? Now, how dramatic is it? Does it follow step perfectly? That I can't really put my finger on, but I can just tell you this obviously. But you could say, hey, for every 5% that the S&P 500 goes up, Bitcoin typically goes up 9%. Whatever. I think that you could find a correlation on a smaller time window, even on the larger ones. But I think that if the U.S. markets rally right before election, I think Bitcoin comes with it. And I think that is going to be something that we look back at. I think that some of the headlines that we say, hey, this happened in the U.S., this policy came out, Biden did this, we sent money here, we gave out money there, whatever it is, or we made borrowing a little easier. If you do that this month, the markets rally. I think Bitcoin goes with it.
So we have the global liquidity. We also have, Robin mentioned this earlier, but you have two Fed chairs, right? Fed presidents, not chairs, who are now saying 50's on the table. One of them is Mr. Bostic, says he's open to another 50 basis point rate cut in November. You also have Goolsby. There will be a lot of rate cuts. Wow. So money becomes cheaper. And again, as I was saying before I was cut off, there's around $7 to $9 trillion that is sitting in bullshit ass money market funds that literally just invest in treasury. Think of it as like a savings account, like a CD that is bringing you 5.5%. Now with inflation going down, that was great, right? Why take a risk on the S&P where it historically returns 7 to 8%, where we could sit in a money market fund with essentially zero risk and earn 5.5%? Those days are coming to an end. So where's that money going to flow? You have China, you have that. Global liquidity is increasing. With all the geopolitical tensions, we know money's going to start getting printed. But let me throw out a little warning for you guys here, okay? There will be, I think we're going through it now, another expansion cycle where governments print money. And specifically here in the US, I want to warn you, this might be your last chance to latch onto that and find a way to make money, because on the back end of that, we haven't seen hyperinflation yet because a lot of countries are trading in the dollar. A lot of countries were holding U.S. treasuries. China has been dwindling down their U.S. treasury holdings. So that trend continues. The de-dollarization continues. We're going to see hyperinflation here in the U.S. So don't squander the opportunity. We're going to see one more massive inflow of easy money. You don't want to be on the wrong side of that. You want to get that money, grab that money, put it into hard assets, Bitcoin, gold, silver, growth stocks, whatever is your cup of tea. But definitely have some Bitcoin, definitely have some altcoins that have a future over the next 10 to 20 years that are going to change the financial
It's time to make money right now, baby. It is time to get into the altcoins because we know that you don't want to look back in hindsight and say, like, God damn it, man, why didn't I get in all this? Real quick, I did want to show you that the CME is pricing in a 35% chance of a 50 basis rate cut. And so it's not just rumor, it is 35%. And you can see that 64% still sides with the 0.25 rate cut. But I think that after today, perhaps going into tomorrow and later this week, we see this closer to a 50-50. What do you think about that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then, which is interesting because the next Fed meeting is November 7th and election day is November 5th. So
Interesting.
if you imagine this scenario for crypto. Who's more bullish for crypto? Do the markets rally if Trump gets elected?
Yes.
Do markets rally if we get a 50 boy? Yeah. So markets rally if you get a 50 basis cut in crypto. We saw a little bump. We were at 58. We were testing 54. There was talks in studio by this guy about us going down to 49 briefly. And lo and behold,
there was talks in the studio.
Then comes in the hero, Jerome Powell.
Jerome H. Powell.
Jerome Powell. Well,
he said, Powell, we're cutting the rates.
And so he came in, he cut the rates, and then boom, we were back up above 60K. So basically where I'm getting at here is that if Trump wins this election on the 5th, and then 2 days later, you get a 50 basis, you get a 0.5% cut. And we know that's bullish for crypto. We know that Biden not being in office and that executive office and Trump coming in is bullish for crypto. I think we're not looking at historic October. I think we're looking at face melting historic November. And if we go in with the 30% green on October and then we smack that with a 50%, we could be at that $125,000 Bitcoin in November. What do you think about that? Given the scenario I played out, Trump and 50 basis point rate cut.
Potentially, yeah. I think people.
It's not that loud. It's not that crazy. So just think, you got 60 days, not even, to get a hold of that $100,000 Bitcoin, right? At discount, 50% off.
Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it. Another good way of looking at it. So here's the thing. There's a lot of talk about FTX repayments start today, tomorrow. That's not true. Okay. There's a lot of idiots on X. I'm not going to name them, but there's a bunch of them. My friend just told me he's getting $1.7 million from FTX tomorrow. We're like, stop with the goddamn misinformation, man. It's so infuriating. There's no FTX repayments. The judge hasn't even approved the repayment plan. Okay. So it's not starting tomorrow or today. It can't even start for another probably 30 days. Okay. So October 7th is the date you want to keep in mind for the FTX repayments. We're talking anywhere between $14 to $16 billion that will be paid back to creditors from the FTX estate, despite social media rumors suggesting an FTX reimbursement by September 30th. Customers will have to wait an additional week for any updates. Before FTX can disperse any creditor funds, the court will have to approve it. Okay, that's how bankruptcy works. With the next court hearing scheduled for October 7th. If the court approves the plan, creditors with smaller claims under $50K may receive their paybacks before the year's end. So we still have a little bit of time to go.
So what you're telling me is it's not tomorrow?
No, it's not.
Well,
Maybe you should stop watching some.
Well, what about these guys here? You got.
Okay, you're gonna put them on blast?
Yeah, I'm putting them all on blast. So you got Wall Street Bets tomorrow or on Monday. This Monday. That was 2 days ago. Wrong. We got Cryptopolitan starts tomorrow. And then you also got Crypto Rover crediting tomorrow. You said you weren't going to put people on blast. Big Rob does not fall in that camp. I'm putting people on blast. There you go. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Before we move on, I want to give a big thank you to today's channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by Legacy Network and the Legacy Academy app, which is live. Google and Apple Play stores. Guys, if you have not downloaded this game, it's free to play. You can learn about different things, whether it's relationship, business, starting a business, how to manage your time, your love life, certain skills that you want to attain, and to be able to do it in an app that is very user-friendly and be able to earn the LGCT token, which the functionality is live on the app, although the token has not been launched yet. It is coming soon. And I'll put it to you this way. You're going to want to have a little bit of exposure to the app and to everything in the app. And that's as much as I can say. I'll leave it at that. Also, if you do have the app, do us a favor. Go on the Play stores and write a review, whether it's good or bad. Share your experience. Write a review. We hope it's good. And then if you want to join their Telegram, stay up to date on everything Legacy Network, the description or the link is in the description of this video. Bitcoin is down. We're down 4%, 63K.
Yeah, we're at this pivotal moment. And so, well, let's ride this thing all the way down to zero.
We're at this pivotal moment. Well, that'll do it, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
We're closing the studio. We went all in on a 100x long position.
That's crazy how fast sentiment changes, right? Social media.
Yeah.
Everyone was so bullish. I'm still bullish. Everyone was so bullish, and we see a little pullback, and everyone starts panicking.
I'm panicking right now, bro.
No, you're not. Go ahead.
I'm nervous, bro.
Just show the damn chart.
Okay.
God.
My bad. 63,100. And so, in all honesty, something to keep an eye on. And I genuinely believe that, is it coincidence that it's at the very end of the month? Perhaps you have a lot of liquidation. I think a lot of people were putting in long positions, getting ready for this October, and why not do it today? Right?
You have a lot of things going on. You have end of Q3 expiries. You have end of the week. You have end of the month expiries. You also have October 1st for the U.S. government and for a lot of companies is the start of their new fiscal year. So they start to rebalance their budgets. Hey, maybe we're at a loss on Bitcoin. I don't know. Let's take the
You
tax
think it's
right down.
coincidence that the price drops at the end of the month, the end of the third quarter, at the end of
Saying-
right? Yeah, it's
not-
very convenient.
It's, I put out a post on X and I said, if the traditional markets did not have the intervention of governments and the Fed, it would trade almost identical to what we see with Bitcoin and crypto. Things get overheated, shit falls sideways, shit falls down the cracks, the markets wipe clean essentially, and then everything starts going back up again. But the problem is with the traditional markets, you have intervention. And so they artificially inflate the prices. Something even tiny goes wrong. People start panicking. Here's a bunch of money, guys. Don't worry, the Fed's going to come to your rescue. And it all started in damn 2008. And so that's the thing. Like, we are in a market that is true capitalism, that is like true market, right? Things get overheated, bubbles form, bubbles pop, things go down, they start trending back up. And so I would argue that what we see in the crypto markets is more natural than what we see in the stock markets. Yes, there is manipulation on both sides, but I'll argue there's more manipulation that affects price more in traditional markets than there are in the cryptocurrency markets.
I did want to give some love to the chat. There's a lot of new people here.
Yeah.
But with all these new people here, they must not know that there's a like button.
Wow.
See this this thumbs up right here?
Yeah.
Hit the thumbs up on your YouTube platform here. It should be right below the screen somewhere. Anyways, got some new people. Baby G, Lounge, WLT, Dr. Pane, Bun T, we got Wispy, DGen, Fran, Adam 3210, Manny E, Crypto 7, 8 Ahead, Pumpkin Seed, to all of you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, we got Crunk in here in the last second. I implore you to put an Ola in the chat. We want to spam the chat here. Most channels don't want that. We do. So put OLA in the chat to let you know that you're alive and you're here and you're kicking and heart's beating. Put an OLA. And basically, I'm gonna break it down to you. Why am I asking you to do this? Because the more active a chat is, the more YouTube promotes our channel. And we want this foolishness out there on as many people's phones as possible. And so type Ola in the chat. Type it 4 times. Type it 6 times. We don't even care. But just show your support.
Thanks for that, Robin.
You're welcome, man. Appreciate you. Really, I really do.
Something's wrong with today. Let's take a look at the rest of the markets. And then on the back end of this, I'm going to get into some interesting. So we have a token unlocks for 3 Bitcoins. And I found a trend in 2 of them. So interesting to see. I think one of them we can make some money on. But go ahead. Let's take a look at the rest of the market.
All right. So, well, Bitcoin's down 24 on the 24 hours.
Something
4%. And so, nice little pullback. But it's only down 0.5% on the week. But, taking a look at what is up, you still got the meme coins up, leading the pack. Dog with Hat still up 40%. Do you expect the meme coins to hold strong and keep the position that they're at? Or do you think that the floor is going to fall out on these meme coins? Because generally they are a extreme volatile play to the
Which
movement
meme
of
coins
Bitcoin.
are you talking about the top ones or
Yes, the top ones.
No, I think they're going to keep going up.
Do you think they're going to keep going up?
Yeah.
On the short term.
No, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm?
Look at the trends.
Okay.
You even say yourself, Bitcoin draws down, memes draw down 30%, get into a meme, you can make 30% or whatever, times the amount of leverage you use. Easy money, right? That's what you said.
It is
I
easy
agree with
money, yeah. But what I normally mean by that is that Bitcoin's currently going down. It's
Correct.
almost
And the
now
memes are going
5%, and the memes are going up.
What does that tell you then? Then what does that tell you?
Then my question to you is, do you get a reversal here and the memes keep rallying and Bitcoin keeps dropping? Because that just seems counter intuitive to my position on memes.
Yeah, I think it does. And, Bitcoin just started going. I mean, it's gaining a little bit. It's kind of teetering, right? We went to 65.5 and we're down to 63. So not a massive move, but yeah, I mean, 3 of the top gainers are meme coins, but they can also, in the next hour, if we checked it again, it could be the complete opposite. That could be the worst gainer or the biggest losers.
Well, you do have Shiba Inu down 8% today. So SHIB down. It's still up 22% on the day. But I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting market. I think right now I would be very careful with leverage trades because I think there's just so much uncertainty in the market. There's uncertainty in Bitcoin. There's uncertainty in the alts. There's uncertainty in the large.
There's uncertainty in Robin's mental state right now.
Exactly. And so I would just say to you, like, be careful with the leverage. Be very careful with the leverage at this point.
I agree.
And I think it's a great swing trade opportunity. I think if you went down the list of your favorite alts, just take a look at your portfolio, say, which one would I like a little bit more exposure? I wish I had more Solana. I wish I had more Caspa, more ICP. Input your favorite project there. Say, I wish I had more of this particular project. Which one is down the most? And I think there's a buying opportunity here for a lot of your favorite projects. And so I would look at this as a chunk buy opportunity, also as a swing trade opportunity.
What are your thoughts on Solana? Still holding over $154.
You know,
right? ETH is down 3%. Bitcoin 4%. 4.5% coming in from BNB. Solana's down 2%.
It's not down much. It's still up 7% on the week as well. And I say this, I would be a little hesitant on Solana in the very short term. I would say in the next 1 week, maybe 2 weeks at most. I don't think I would grab any because it's kind of holding strong against the market. So I don't think it would take much for it to be at $140 Solana, maybe 138, 136, something like that. I don't think that's far away. I don't think that's far-fetched. And so could we get there within the next week? I think so, man. But at the same time, I'll caveat with this. Solana's ecosystem is leaps and bounds ahead of Ethereum right now as far as community, as far as projects that are rallying and gaining interest. When's the last ETH meme coin that you've talked about?
Trump.
How long ago did that launch?
About a year ago.
And where's the price right now compared to where it was 6 months ago?
Well, Turbo's a big one.
That's what I'm saying is that, but now if I ask you, what about Solana meme coin ecosystem? And what does that look like in the last 6 months? And so where I'm getting at is that people are choosing Solana majority of the time. Maybe not 90% of the time, but I think there's more consumer interest. I think there's more people
here's a question.
Using Solana.
Here's a question. Same exact meme coin. They go multi-chain. ETH, Solana. Which chain are you buying it on?
Solana.
Me too.
Oh, here's an even better question. Same kind of concept. Let's just say you're launching a meme coin. Who are you launching it on? ETH or Solana?
Solana.
Yeah.
Yeah, Solana.
So it just shows you that right now, Solana's the go-to play when it comes to DeFi, when it comes to your speculative altcoins, right? Or, the ecosystem coins, particularly the meme coins. And so it's a no-brainer right now, man. I think Solana's probably one of the most solid picks as far as a safe return, right, on this bull market. Now, what is the staying power of Solana long term? I'm not too sure, right? I don't know if Solana keeps its lead against Ethereum. I'm not sure if other layer ones catch up to Solana, right? I wouldn't be surprised to see Avalanche. Wouldn't be surprised to see Cardano, maybe even Caspa, ICP make up room up against Solana and take some of that lion share from them. And so, but what I feel pretty confident is that Solana is going to perform very well this bull market.
What are your thoughts on, I'm trying to pull up a Caspa chart. What are your thoughts on Caspa where it's currently at right now? $15, let's call it, or $15. Forecasting a little bit. $16. $16 damn it, I keep saying dollars. 16-cent Caspa. I'll be able to get the words out, I promise. So this is Caspa on the daily. Little bit of maybe of an inverse head and shoulders that hasn't really played out yet. Not really. I guess you can kind of call it shoulder, head, shoulder, but we're trending downwards. Here's the thing though. might be a good time to enter a short in a Caspa. At least this is according to what our liquidity flow index is saying, as the sentiment has crossed the midline to the downside. Typically, when we see that, price trends down. Now, this is short term. Of course, we're bullish long term on Caspa, but are you a buyer here at 16 cents?
A breakout is imminent, right? The thing is that it is hung out at.
I mean, look at this recovery, okay? Look at this V-shaped recovery we saw from Caspa when it went all the way down to 13.9 cents.
From February to now, it hasn't had a massive breakout. It did break all-time highs.
What do you mean from February to now? It did. It went from 10 cents to 18 cents, which is almost 80%, right?
Well, okay, look at it. February 19th, it hit its all-time high. Since then, at that time, it hit all-time high, right? It hit 18 cents in February, the third week of February. And so from that point on, it really hasn't done much, right? Which is, I know it's not a bad thing. I'm not sitting here saying like Caspa is like a bad play. And we did pull back. We did pull back.
It gave up half of its rally.
Yeah, but this was very indicative of just crypto in general, right? Bitcoin pulled back. That was February was when Cardano was at 70 cents. It pulled back 50% as well, and so we saw Caspa. So it was in line with all the other projects. However, it has yet to break out again, right? We did get a new all-time high since then, but I don't know, man. I was expecting it to be I was expecting a little bit of this late-term rally coming out of Caspa, especially with the launch of the KRC20 and more use case and utility outside of just transfer. And so, oh man, I'm very optimistic of a breakout. I just don't know when. And so, like I said earlier, I would be very cautious on leverage plays at this moment. And when I say this moment, I think the next 3 days, right? I think maybe give a couple days in October just to see what is October looking like or shaping up to be. And then I think once you start seeing a breakout in October for Bitcoin, let's just say we see Bitcoin go from, this 63, and then say tomorrow it's a 64, the day after it's at 65. Then all of a sudden, October 3rd comes around, you're at 68. That's the breakout. That's the point now where I'm going leverage ham crazy on my altcoins. Like that's where I'm putting in my positions because I have little doubt that October is going to be an extremely bullish month for Bitcoin, but crypto in general. And I think that what we saw in February out of the altcoin market will come back again this next few weeks. And so I think it kicks off the market there. So
I'm curious. I want to know how many people watching now have some exposure to Caspa. If you do have exposure to Caspa, any exposure, whether it's a KRC token, whether it's Caspa token itself, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. I'm curious. I'm a 1. I'm pretty sure you're a 1. I'm not sure about Rocco. Rocco's a 1. Okay. So do you have Caspa, Robin?
Yeah.
Okay. So all three of us in studio have Caspa. Okay. Who do you think has the most Caspa? I'm curious. Know what the chat thinks as well. All right. So I mentioned in the beginning, we've got 3 big token unlocks coming, and here they are. You got Celestia, Sui, and Aptos are set for a 1.3 billion token unlock this coming month in October. Let's first start with Celestia, okay? Something unique about Celestia is this will be the first token unlock that includes their Series A and B investors and their initial core contributors and their seed funding round, okay? We take a look at the past token unlocks. It's majority of it, well, all of it's been R&D, future initiatives, and Genesis drop. Now, the upcoming ones are going to include ones that a lot of people expect to be sell events, right? Which is the investors. You've been waiting X amount of time. You finally are going to start having access to your coins. And so you got to assume venture capital, hedge funds, whoever they've raised money from, You want to realize profit. And well, where is Celestia right now? The price is currently at $5.73. We take a look at the overview. Take a look at over the last, let's just say, 1 year, and I'll trim this thing down, right? At the beginning of the year, or let's go back one entire year. Celestia was at $2, okay? And we take a look at their funding round, their fundraising, their Series A and B, the price was sub 10 cents, 9 cents for their Series A, $1 for their Series B. So if you're a Series A investor, which raised $15 million, you are about to get your tokens distributed to you. Not all of them, but a percentage of them. And Robin, you look at, I got in at Celestia at 9 cents as a Series A investor. I can now cash out at, let's call it $6. You are going to take some profits, yes? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
You are.
100%,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Am I saying all of it's going to be sold? No. So that is something unique about Celestia. Then we go to something like SUI. SUI, not the best tokenomics. I think like, what is it? Let's go to overview here real quick. So you have only about 26, so a quarter of their total supply is currently circulating. So you still have a lot of ways to go. And we take a look at their vesting period and, well, what's coming unlocked? Same as it was last month, same as it was the month before. Series A, Series B, early contributors, and of course you have the stake subsidies. These all remain at 2.78%. Let's take a look at what SUI's price has done leading into it. Now, these vertical green lines are at the candle a day prior, okay? So we see this first red candle after the red vertical or the green vertical line is the day that the tokens are unlocked. So the 3rd of every month is their unlock. Price trends down, bottoms out, and goes up. The day of the unlock, price trends down. No chop, though. Price goes up. Leading into it, this is the only time where it was different, where on the day, we essentially were even, right? The candle was technically red, but you can't even see the body of it, right? You can't even see the body because the price closed where it opened. And then we saw the massive rally. So what this is telling us is with SUI, we might see an initial drawdown in price if historically it has done this, if it continues to do it, and then we should see a rally moving up. So this might be a decent long play. Now, nothing is 100% one for one, what happened previously, but the one I'm keeping my eye on is Aptos. Aptos does their token unlocks on the 12th of every month, okay? You have core contributors, foundation, investors, and community. And the largest one is your core contributors and your investors. Now, what has Aptos' price done leading into these token unlocks? I went all the way back to June of this year. Price leading into starts to rally and then dip, right? Price starts to rally, rallies, and then dips. Going into the unlock, prices rally. You can see here, if I measure these, I'm going to take my measuring tool here. Leading into the unlock, which happened in July, price rallied 10%. Leading into the rally, I'm not even taking the wicks. I'm taking the open. Leading into the rally, leading into the unlock in August, price rallied 27%. Leading into the rally in September, price rallied 12%. Robin, we're about 12 days away from the unlock. If we see something similar, there's an opportunity here to make a little bit of money to front run the potential rally as Aptos has done, leading into the token unlocks. Is this something that you might?
That's a really good. It's a really good play there. That's a really good breakdown.
So we'll see. At least
yeah. I mean, will it buck the trend? Probably not. I mean,
here's the difference, though.
Didn't see the big pullback after the
correct,
rally. And
correct.
So
we're kind of chopping sideways. But trading and trading is all about probabilities. So what is the probability that we see something similar? Maybe it's not a 15, 20% gain, but could it be a 5% gain? Could it be an 8% gain?
Or Bitcoin could take off and then it's a 20% gain.
Yeah.
You know, never know. Let me ask you. So, you know, the theme of today's show was I'm buying and question mark. So what are you looking at?
I think my play is Aptos.
Is Aptos?
Yeah. Solely on a swing trade.
Solely on the swing trade. Yeah, I'm looking at buying opportunity for right now, the last day of September, going into what we're expecting to be a historic October, right? Let me ask you a question. Does Bitcoin hit 80,000 in October, this next month?
I believe so.
You believe so?
Yeah.
What would be the biggest proxy play to an 80? Yeah. And that's exactly where I'm going. And
I think,
so,
but I think the big thing is going to be their Nakamoto upgrade. That's got to go off without a hitch. If that fails,
yeah, but there's a lot of ifs there. But
I don't think it's going to fail.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So for me, I am laser focused on stacks right now. I think it might be the best opportunity to make a 2x in 3 weeks. I think the downside on stacks, I mean, how low is stacks realistically going to go? I mean, I think it's kind of bottomed out for its current cycle. And if you look at where it was in February to where stacks is now, and it just, I don't know. I feel very, very comfortable getting into stacks as far as, it pulling back. But I think the upside is very strong. So take a look. It's actually
Stacks chart actually looks really good.
Yeah.
So you look at it, it kind of bucked the trend here. And so this is on the daily for stacks on Binance, going all the way back to April, where we saw the price come down from around $4, bottoming out on a wick sub one or at about $1 flat, $1.05. We were just making lower lows and lower highs. We got our lower low in, or we got our higher low in, and then more importantly, we got our higher high in here.
Yeah.
We took out this high of around $1.84, and we closed out at around $1.97, although we're seeing price pull back. This should be an area where we hold the price of stacks.
And stacks is still up on the week 1%, right? And so we're not seeing a pullback on stacks, and I think it's because the smart money here is not giving up their stacks position. I think that they identify that it's probably going to be a bullish month for Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin breaks all-time highs, I think that it really catapults stacks up into that $2.50, $3, $3.50. I think that a 2x from stacks is likely if we get a $80,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah. That level, we'd like it to hold as $1.84.5. So if that holds, great. Our high is still intact, or our low is still intact as well. We want to flip this to a low, right? I want to flip this $1.84 level to a low. But stacks is something that I'm also pretty bullish on. But that Nakamoto upgrade is going to be big. It's going to be pretty big. So, guys, if you are a fan of Near Protocol, we got a Near Protocol video coming out. I'll explain to you why it's got one of the best, if not the best, looking chart and setup and potentially all of crypto Near Protocol. So if you're a fan, you're going to want to make sure to watch the video. That's all I got. Anyone else?
That's it.
Good? All right. Rocco? Thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope you had a great weekend. To our community members that are in the East Coast that were affected by the hurricane, you guys are in our thoughts. I know a few of our community members are out there in North Carolina and Florida. And so if there's anything we can do to help you guys, please feel free to reach out. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.